And next, I would like to call Mr. Vishal Goyal to the podium. And next, kindly request Mr. Anand Sharma to the dais. And next, I would like to call Mr. S.N. Reguchandran Nair to the dais. And next, I would like to call Mr. Rajagopal G to the podium. And lastly, we would like to call Mr. Kochithoman Matthew to the dais. Kindly request Kochithoman sir to the dais. Thank you so much, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, it's our pleasure to invite Mr. Sunil, our section coordinator, and I kindly request Sunil sir to intro our speakers. And also, when you're talking about Sunil Kumar, is the first generation businessman known for many innovations in the real estate sector. An extraordinary entrepreneur and futuristic engineer, he founded Azad Homes Private Limited in 2007, which has completed and handed over 84 residential projects across Kerala till now. He is also a brilliant orator and proved talent in literature through many books like Built to Last and Covidu, etc. At the moment, I would like to call Sunil Kumar to hand over the mic. Please, sir. Please give them a big round of applause.
Good morning to all. Dear esteemed investors and distinguished guests, it's a privilege to be here today at this summit where we are shaping the skyline of Kerala and trying to transform the real estate into lasting assets for generations to come. As we stand at the forefront of a rapidly changing world, we are witnessing the fusion of cutting-edge technologies and innovative designs that are not only reshaping our skylines but also redefining the urban living. Urban expansion presents both opportunities and challenges. With growing populations, cities must adapt smart technologies and sustainable practices to create more livable, efficient, and resilient spaces. In this context, Kerala stands out as a beacon of growth, offering an ease of doing business that fosters innovation and growth in the real estate sector. Even though the shortage of available good land in this region poses a great challenge, the availability of good water, climate, communal harmony, and social security creates tremendous potential opportunities. The trends in real estate investment show a clear shift towards sustainable, socially responsible projects that balance development with environmental stewardship. As investors, we have a unique opportunity to engage with this dynamic sector where long-term value is being created not only in terms of profit but also in a positive social impact. Looking globally, the trends are very clear. The future of real estate is about more than just residential buildings, which always has a square feet tag to it, but it is about creating vibrant, sustainable communities that last for long. Alternate real estate verticals like industrial parks, IT parks, biotechnology parks, life science parks, sports, health and wellness developments, senior living and student housing, malls, educational buildings, single and multi-specialty medical centers are also part of this new revolution. That's how a developer starts thinking beyond square feet. Together, let's continue to push the boundaries and turn our vision of tomorrow's skyline into today's reality. Today, I have the privilege of introducing our distinguished speakers. First of all, I would like to introduce our keynote speaker, Mr. P.H. Kurian. Mr. P.H. Kurian, an IAS officer since 1986, has held key roles in both Orissa and Kerala, including Additional Chief Secretary, Secretary for Disaster Management, Revenue, Environment, Principal Secretary for Industries, Housing, Public Works and IT. He has led prominent PSUs like Kerala Financial Corporation, KSIDC and Travancore Titanium Products. He also served as the Controller General of Patents, Trademarks and Designs. After retiring in 2019, he became the first chairman of Kerala Real Estate Regulatory Authority, KERARA. I welcome you, sir. The second keynote speaker is Mr. Ramesh Nair. He is the CEO of Mindspace Business Parks REIT, has over 25 years of experience in real estate. He leads the strategic growth of a 33+ million square feet portfolio, focusing on operational excellence and stakeholder engagement. Previously, Ramesh was CEO India at Colliers, driving significant growth, and CEO of JLL India, where he led a team of 12,000 professionals. He has held leadership roles in industry organizations, including RICS and CIA. Ramesh is also an author, guest lecturer, and a member of several prestigious boards. His leadership drives Mindspace REIT towards continued innovation and success. I welcome you, sir. It's my privilege to introduce S.N. Raghujandran Nair, Managing Director of SA Property Kerala Private Limited, has over 40 years of experience in construction and real estate. He is the Convener General of CREDAI Kerala and a National Executive Committee member of CREDAI, and has held leadership roles such as the President of Trivandrum Chamber of Commerce and Industry and Kerala Golf Federation. He also serves on various boards and committees, including the Kerala State Electricity Regulatory Commission and Kerala Academy for Skills Excellence. Additionally, he is involved in academia and sports, contributing to organizations like Awake Trivandrum, Trivandrum Development Task Force, and Kerala Institute of Tourism. I welcome you, sir. Mr. Rajagopal G., Director and CEO of Columbia Pacific Communities, leads one of India's largest senior living brands, Serene Communities, managing over 10 communities with more than 1,700 units across 5 cities. He is also the co-founder and CEO of Kite Senior Care, specializing in post-hospitalization, palliative and dementia care with 400+ beds across 4 cities. Rajagopal serves as a board member of the Association of Senior Living India, ASLI. Previously, he was the co-founding CEO of Motherhood Hospitals and Chief Executive of HCG Milan. An ISB alumnus and fellow of ICIA, Raj is passionate about mentoring startups and fostering entrepreneurship. Welcome, Rajagopal. I would also like to welcome Mr. Vishal Goyal. He is the co-founder of JV Ventures, popularly known as VG. But the original VG is Vibrant Gujarat, and he is the founder of Vibrant Gujarat years back, actually, 2012, I believe. He has 2 decades of experience in education, life sciences, healthcare, and managed habitats. JV Ventures has deployed over US dollars $430 million in various sectors in India. Vishal advises Andhra Pradesh government on the first biotech policy and was key in developing Genome Valley cluster in Hyderabad. As MD of RX Propellant, he leads life science infrastructure strategies. Vishal also drives education innovation through JV Ventures, Power ED, Capella platforms. Previously, he led India operations for Alexandria REIT and worked at ENY on PPP transactions and private equity. Welcome you. It's my privilege to introduce Sri Kochudaman, architect Kochudaman, who hails from Kochi, India. He is a multiple award-winning architect both at the national and state level. In 2017, his flagship project, Aquatic Resorts, bagged 3 awards for the World Luxury Hotel competition held at Switzerland. He has earned a master's degree in architecture from Oxford Brookes University Before starting Kochum and Associates, he worked as an architect for firms like Inspiration and Seearth. His work style has been greatly influenced by the premier icons in the field of modern architecture like David Green and Andrew Holmes, who were the mentors during his time at Oxford, UK. He is closely associated with the master architect Christopher C. Benninger and is working on few projects in Middle East also. Welcome, Architect Christopher. Most of you know Mr. Anand Sharma. Anand Sharma is a chartered accountant with over 22 years of experience in consulting, technology and government sectors. As an associate partner, he leads government and public services practices and has successfully delivered multiple projects across various government departments. With expertise in operations, technology offshoring, startup support and business development, he has a strong track record in business assessment, fund deployment, financial planning, project management, and consistently driving results in complex environments. I welcome Anand. So this is the panel which we can give us good light on opportunities, challenges, and positive sides of Kerala real estate. So to start with, I would like to welcome Sri P.H. Kuran sir to give us the keynote speech. Please, sir.
Good morning, everybody. My dear panelists, ladies and gentlemen. It gives me great pleasure to stand before you, and I thank Government of Kerala and KSIDC for inviting me. I used to be part of the organizers of previous two events in 2003 and 2012 as Industry Secretary. Now I am on the other side. And my panelists are all businessmen. I am the only babu, bureaucrat or regulator or whatever it is. So they are the ones who are more fit to talk because they are the hard part of it. I am sort of in the soft part of it. Anyway, I have made a small presentation. The first slide of it, can you give that first slide? Yeah. Go ahead. The first slide, the next slide. I can see from there. I need to change it, right? Okay. This gives a little, the present stage, which is not very big. Kerala, for the last 10 years, makes around 400,000 buildings in a year. This is the statistics of the Panchayat Municipality Department, which is compiled by the Statistics Department. Of the 4 lakh, around 3 lakh are residential buildings and 100,000 of them are commercial building. Of course, the sizes are very small. I searched for the size in terms of area. Simply that's not available in the statistics. But the number is very high. 2.75 lakh of houses were built last year, of which my RERA data shows that in the last 10 years at the average, 6,000 is the number of flats. If the villas and is added, a few more will come. The highest number came in last 2024. All the flats which are planned are registered, which is 9,700 or something. This is the number that we have today. So the number-wise, the existing thing is not by commercial. The commercial office space, shops, malls and everything is, in terms of units, is less than 1,000 last year. So this is the ticket size of today. Now we talk from this ticket side, what is the opportunity of tomorrow? It's not that we are very small when compared to many other states, we are more, but I am only saying you can't compare with the Noida or Gurgaon or Delhi, Mumbai, Bangalore, Hyderabad, Chennai. In our own states, we are somewhat okay. It is going up, growing every year by something like 10%. That is the type of growth that we have. But that is not sufficient when we are now talking about shaping the skylines for future. It has to be much bigger. So the hard part of it comes from you, the businessman. The soft part needs to come from government. A lot of things, the hard part of thing which needs to come from government is now happening in Kerala, especially with the present government, with the business-friendly idea, ease of doing business, and the infrastructure development, which I just limited. These are the ones which are actually going to unlock the potential of real estate development in Kerala. Like Sunil said, real estate in Kerala is understood only as house building. That's all real estate in Kerala. Real estate means houses only. But you look at the alternate investment also, it gives that opportunity. Now the type of core infrastructure developments which are now happening is the 6-lane highway north to south. We have a hillway which is north to south, which is half done now and it's fast progressing. We have a coastal road which is again north and south, which is a narrow. Kerala has 3-4 parallel transportation infrastructure coming. The inland waterways again north to south, and the Vizhinjam International Seaport at Trivandrum, and the Kochi-Bangalore Industrial Corridor at Palakkad. The Palakkad things will likely can increase to more in future once the infrastructure of the road was down. So this is the thing which I say, along with the proactive policies of government, the type of thing which is going to open up the future. Now Sunil also says availability of land. Availability of land is a mental block in my opinion. Land is plentifully available in Kerala. Once this infrastructure comes up, the unlocked land gets opened up. Now, procuring land in Kerala is not very difficult. The government is the one which doesn't have maybe enough money to procure and provide, which used to do earlier. Now the private people can procure sufficient land if the government or regulatory people are opening, the type of hurdles that they do if it is gone. That is what the present governments do. You can have balloon development in all this infrastructure coming. The inland waterway and the coastal highway definitely opens a lot of opportunity for resorts and everything on the coastal way. And our coastal zone is now reduced. It's only in type 2 places. It's only 50 meters. Now that gives a lot of opportunity. I know people who are thinking of that reduced requirement of coastal zone regulation, which opens up a lot of places. Now you see, because Kerala for millennia had the individual living in own farmland, in own land, that is still deep ingrained in the house. But the new generation is now wanting more of a clustered living, getting into gated community. These are all the things. Gated community used to be a sort of hated community in the 70s and 80s in Kerala. Very few flats came up. Now the flats or small residential township needs to come outside the towns. That opening has come now. The government actually support that with the required common infrastructure, electricity and connecting roads further for a balloon, there is unlimited opportunity coming, and this has to be coupled along with you have to think it along with the other things which are coming. The other industrial, the corridor gives a lot of opportunity for people to work, and requirement of housing, entertainment, everything is going to increase. So what we are going to see, the shape of skyline in another 2030, maybe 2047, we must see a more of clustered living, leaving a lot of land still continuously available. Now in other states, people live together in villages. Kerala doesn't have that thing. So the clustered living encouragement will leave a lot of land free for development. Now if east of Trivandrum or east of Ernakulam, if we move, we have a lot of acquirable land. Once the highway is developed, and let's say for Ernakulam, I used to plan for long, so a lot of land in Manid, Panchayat, Ayyan, Pura, so many places there are rubber estates, which are not big estates, which are 10 acres, 5 acres, with a very limited number of dwelling houses in that area. So it is easy to acquire. Once that momentum takes place, you will definitely have small residential industrial townships which are going to come. Look at the government new policy of private universities. If the private university comes, that again gives a big opportunity. I'm sure, I remember I met Mukesh Ambani long back, 2006 or 7. He was saying that I want to start an international university in Kerala. If I do an international university, this is 20 years back. He said, I will do it. But I came, and at that time government was not that proactive, because privatizing education was not a big thing. Look at the change that has happened. I see a man who was part of the government for so much of time. These changes are a big, big thing for me. I'm so happy that these changes have happened. Had it happened at that time, that's a different story. Whatever is done is done. Now our future is going to be bright with these policy changes. These are the things which actually increases the demand for township developments. The educational township, university will come as an educational township. That itself is a great opportunity. Industrial township gives the next opportunity. So the question of land availability, I think that we have to slowly, that restriction in the mind we need to slowly lose. If the government also allow a little relaxation in the land sealing law, wherever required, I'm saying that it is not openly to be allowed. Somebody needs 25, 30 acres land, once he's going to be allowed that thing. Kerala will definitely see a great future in this. So this is the point that I want to make is that our future, because of this core development and government part of it, both the hard part of it and the soft part of it has now become favorable. So all of you investors present here has a great opportunity now in the coming medium term. I'm not aiming in a short term. In a medium term, opportunities are going to be galore. Please plan for that thing. Work with government, work with the businessmen in Kerala. Because in my present job, I have seen a lot of businessmen in Kerala, in the real estate sector, are planning with outsiders. They are one who are sitting here. These are all people who are planning to do joint effort in developing projects in Kerala, each one of them. So that is the silver line that I am seeing now. So we will definitely reshape the skyline of Kerala in the medium term. Maybe by around 2040, we will see the skyline of Kerala is totally different. That is it's not a question of dream. It is going to be the reality. Thank you very much.
Very short and sweet speech, PH Kuren sir, thank you. And I invite Mr. Ramesh Nair for the second keynote speech.
Thank you, Kurian sir, and thank you, Sunil, for that lovely introduction. I'm a Kochi boy who did his schooling here, so all the more special to be addressing this event. While I was preparing for this short speech, I was doing some research in terms of where does Kochi stand in terms of office space absorption in the country. Was shocked to see that after the top 6 cities, Kochi stands top 6 cities between Mumbai, Bangalore, Chennai, Hyderabad, NCR and Pune. Kochi stands number 1 after these 6 big cities, which is at one point at 15 lakh square feet last year. This is after competition from Ahmedabad, from Calcutta, competition from Indore, Jaipur, Coimbatore, all these cities. Cochin is actually the biggest after the 6 big cities, which makes me believe that the city is on a cusp of phenomenal growth. I have seen cities like Hyderabad and Chennai a few years back when they were at this stage. I think sky is the limit for a city like Kochi. Obviously, Trivandrum is also doing very well. Today, the big cities have huge amount of challenges. We've all been reading in some cities in the country where you can walk faster than taking a car. We've been reading about the pollution issues. We've been reading about how cost of living has become unaffordable. Even today, an IT engineer, the startup, the IT engineer who joins first time in a big company, even today the salaries are between the 3 to 5 lakhs. So cost of living becomes very important. So previously, now I work for Mindspace Real Estate Investment Trust. We own around 3.7 crores square feet of office space. Our sponsor, K-Raja Corp, they're developing another 1.5 crore of office space. Having advised many companies in my previous past when I used to work for JLL, companies look for around 40 different parameters when they look at deciding which city to go to. But the top 7 parameters, first is cost of availability of talent. We all know where Kerala scores in terms of availability of talent, exceptional talent, number of talent. Second is cost of talent. Given that cost of living is considerably lesser in Cochin compared to the other 6 cities, cost of talent is reasonable. Third parameter they look at is availability of real estate. There are a lot of good developers from outside Kochi and Trivandrum, and also very good local developers today who are creating world-class real estate within these two cities. Next is cost of real estate. In some cities like Bangalore, cost of IT spaces cross 150 rupees, which is difficult for IT companies, global GCCs to pay. So that's another parameter. And the last three being, so cost of real estate, availability of real estate. The other three being physical infrastructure. I think like Kurian sir mentioned, Kerala is doing a phenomenal job of improving infrastructure, social infrastructure, which is education, healthcare, malls, colleges, all that. Again, Kerala is doing a fine job. And also government, which is the last and seventh factor, government support, which again I think the state is doing a very good job. This overall event itself is a good sign that the government is being proactive of attracting investments. So if I have to kind of summarize, where do the two cities, sorry, I'm focusing on two cities, which is Cochin and Trivandrum, and because I come from the commercial side of real estate, and these are the two cities which are doing outstandingly well. We are looking at investing in these two cities. Right now we have a presence in the 4 bigger cities, and we are constantly looking for where can we see growth as some cities saturate. Overall, from an IT infrastructure point of view, skill, talent pool, cost-effective operations, government support, quality of life, overall business ecosystem which the state provides, the support of innovation, connectivity is over the years, because I used to come here to meet my parents, air connectivity today is so much more better than before. Supportive community, people are very helpful, very stable government. All the governments have been very stable over the years. Climate, ease of doing business, the shipping routes, Kerala being a tourism hub. Of late, Kerala has made a lot of good noise around being a startup hub, competing with cities like Bangalore and Chennai. High internet penetration, the government support towards R&D, tax incentives, subsidies which the government is today offering, cultural diversity, access to funding, real estate markets, excellent healthcare and education, and above everything else, I think availability of tech talent, the amount of tech talent, also people studying in other cities like Chennai, Hyderabad, Bangalore, which have a lot of institutions, people wanting to come back. One trend I noticed, we noticed when post-COVID, especially when we started talking to companies like TCS, Wipro, Infosys, Cognizant, HCL, Accenture, IBM, these kind of large employers, L&T, Mindtree, was that post-COVID, the mindset of youngsters especially, they wanted to come back to their home territory, home regions, spend time with parents. So a lot of these companies today, like the other day I was talking to Accenture, they have a focused Tier 2 strategy. This was non-existent 2 years back. Today they're going to these cities, not doing big centers, but looking at 100,000 square feet centers, and they've done already 4 such centers outside that big 6 cities. So I think Kerala, to summarize, Cochin and Trivandrum, is in the cusp. Other cities' challenges are your advantage. I think all of us as stakeholders need to come together and make sure Kerala becomes the biggest, Cochin and Trivandrum become the biggest IT destination in the country. Thank you so much.
So, what we heard from the both keynote speakers is the future is going to be very, very, very bright. Real estate in Kerala is going to grow again and again. So, one question, because Ramesh is actually moving to airport. So, first question to Mr. Ramesh, what do you see as the key drivers for growth in Kerala real estate market that make it an attractive destination for REIT investments, both from individual investors and institutional players?
I think all the parameters which I spoke about, what the government should also do is try and attract large private equity institutional players, encourage local developers by typically offering that 5 to 10 acre kind of developments, because to do a good meaningful park you need at least a 500,000 to a million square feet to attract foreign capital. And today you look at the 10 largest office players in the country, all 10 of them have an international partner. People like Blackstone, Brookfield, GIC, all three are partnered with us, for example, and the other large private equity funds. Capital comes a lot from Singapore, from the Middle East, companies like Abu Dhabi Investment Authority, institutions like ADIA, from US, Blackstone, Brookfield, all these people. So I think that challenge of getting that 5 to 10 acres land will help. A great example is what Chandrababu Naidu today, when you rewind back 20 years back, when he was the chief minister, did in Hyderabad. We have a presence of 15 million square feet of ready space in Hyderabad. We are developing another 3 million square feet in Hyderabad. If you look at Hyderabad today, it's clearly become the number 2 city in the country after Bangalore in terms of IT demand. Some years it's crossed 1 crore square feet of office space, just that, which used to be rocky mountains back then. So I think that's something maybe the government can do, which will help create those jobs. We're talking at 1 crore square feet, we are talking over 1,20,000 jobs being created every year in Hyderabad. I think that's the kind of potential which IT can create. So,
Thank you very much. Since you are moving, a big thank you from our side. Thank you. So let us start the panel discussion. So my first question is to Sri P.H. Kuren sir, Real Estate Regulatory Authority. That's what everybody says, regulation. The question is, what measures are being taken to ensure that real estate market in Kerala remains competitive, transparent, and attractive for both local and international investors on a RERA point of view? Working.
Yeah, that's a good question. To make it competitive may not be under the RERA thing, that is mostly on the government, because the construction cost is supposed to be a little higher, labor costs are higher, material comes from outside, on which RERA cannot do anything. But the transparency and the credibility of the process, RERA has to do something. The law has done enough, and RERA has actually taken that forward to give more of transparency and credibility to the builders through that transparency. That's what we did. Now, to attract more, RERA also, the law says the regulation and development. Now, a part of the development, I said many times about the soft part of it. A lot of the soft part of it, I made a recommendation to the government, which is in the offing. One was the Apartment Ownership Act needs to be amended in conformity with the central law, which I think some draft is made now. This morning I was in the High Court lawyers, some function was there where I again demanded that to be done faster. So the softer part, whatever RERA can do, we have put forward before government, that is now moving. Once that is done, all those, the credibility will increase, transparency will further increase. The legal hurdles will get over. I'm sure that in a year's time that law will come. So all those problems are over, people will buy. Now in that law, one of the doubt the Kerala people have got, Bombay has a redevelopment law already. So our law will also have the high-rise building redevelopment law into the Apartment Ownership Act itself.
Okay.
And Apartment Ownership Act is going to cover the villas and the commercial space.
Big problem existing.
Yeah,
Many old buildings are finding it difficult to redevelop due to the absence of a law, right?
That is coming.
Okay. So we'll straight away go to the builder segment. I My question is to Mr. S. N. Raghuchandran Nair. Raghu, what are the current opportunities in Kerala's real estate market that builders can capitalize on? And how do organizations like KRDAI and Chamber of Commerce support this growth? It's working.
Yeah, I think what we really need to know is what is the ecosystem we have as far as land is concerned. See, in Kerala, we have, see, as you know, we have only 96 lakh acres. In a 96 lakh acres, you lose about 25,000 acres on CRZ on the seaside and about 70,000 or 70,000 acres on the river side. Because we have 590 kilometers on the seaside, about 2,800 kilometers on the river side, and then you have about 1,950 kilometers where you lose another 25,000 acres on the backwater side. Then with the road network of 3.32 lakhs and 1,300 kilometers of railway network and forest about 30 lakh acres. Today what we have is roughly about 15% of land is available in Kerala for development, which is very important because Kerala can have only a vertical growth. So this is what we have to really be very clear. Because horizontal growth may not be possible in the coming years because, and government has been very supportive in bringing in more FSI or what you call FAR, which is one of the highest in the country with 4. But we may have to increase it further higher. So here, I think what we have been doing is on the KRDAI side, we have been trying to impress on the government, saying that, we must make maximum utilization of the land. So to utilize the land, you have a master plan. Now all the master plans have come in place, which is all outdated. Now new master plans have come and things are now moving in the right direction. So here, the vertical growth is one. Then second thing, organizationally, KRDAI, we have been trying to sound the government that new things are coming. Like student housing is one group which is going to come in a big way. And same thing like you have co-sharing spaces and all that. But what I feel is that it's not only KRDAI, I'm also the president of the Chamber of Commerce, and also through the Chamber, we have been trying to bring development. Because if you want development to happen in a city, you require people, then only you have employment coming in. So we have to work with the government. It is no point you trying to blame the government, saying that let the government do it. So we have been working through our agency called Random Agenda Task Force, which is headed by Sri Matthews of IBS and Sri Chris Govalashan. And we have been working through our organization called Awake Random, with a lot of youngsters. So through that, we try to bring in new industries. We have been able to coordinate with Adani's to bring in more flights. We have been able to coordinate with Adani's about the
we'll come to that.
solution.
We'll come to that.
So these are things which we are doing on that.
Your efforts on changing the laws or getting the new laws implemented are getting good
It is,
results
I
now?
think the government is very receptive to that point. Because they have been giving a lot of, they hear us out as a stakeholder. We are heard and any necessary things are being done in the ecosystem to make sure that we will be able to do more industries. No, housing is not only an industry. The other industries need to come in. So they have been very supportive on those areas.
I think the master plan part you can mention. Master plan actually get done. The K-Smart came.
Yeah, you see the master plan part of it, like Random Master Plan, it was in 1971. With a lot of effort, we brought it, and now we got one of the best master plans. At the same time, K-Smart, government has come with a K-Smart where you can get a building permit in 30 days. And if you don't get it, you get a deem permit, which is something very unique. The corruption levels, you look at it, Kerala has negligible corruption levels compared to any other states. So this is where I think, that people, investors coming here will definitely find a difference when you compare with other states.
Okay. Vishal, my question to you is, considering the rapid growth and success of life science parks in Hyderabad, how do you see the potential for replicating such a model in Kerala, given its strategic location and growing healthcare and biotech sectors?
I think as Ramesh was talking, that the first 5 slots for the IT are booked, and it's very difficult to move from and to get into those 5 slots. But fortunately for healthcare, life sciences, the first 3 slots are still available. And I think that is where Kerala has a very unique opportunity of becoming a leader as an integrated healthcare, life sciences ecosystem, along with an education ecosystem. So I think if you see from a perspective of next 10 years, and you go back to Boston, Boston 15 years ago, if there's a plane landing in the Boston airport, 80% people would be financial services, office, insurance, and all. Today, if you see a plane landing in the Boston airport, 80% will be either students, life sciences, or their parents of the students. I think similarly, if you have seen Bhubaneswar as a city today, it has become a medical center hub. There are so many parents coming to meet their children who are becoming doctors. I think that is the vision which Kerala can adopt, given high literacy rates, very, I would say, very intellectual type discussions which happen in Kerala, positively or negatively, but it goes very deep. I think that is a perfect place to set up a R&D ecosystem. And combined with the flanks of education, doing private universities, doing education towns, student housing, mixing up a little bit of a naturopathy, alternate healing with healthcare. And I keep telling everybody, my friend Sunil, that the Mallus will live 10 years longer than the average Indian population. And that 10 years means that they have to visit more hospitals. And that means that expertise of healthcare to handle geriatrics in Kerala will be extremely high. And as the world lives longer, the doctors and the practices and the, and the systems which Kerala will have can attract a lot of international patients and patients from India itself. I think there's always been an over-focus on getting people from GCC or outside. Today, India is a very big market. Today, if you see Hyderabad, 50% beds are occupied by people from Eastern India. They are coming from Bhubaneswar, they are coming from Eastern India. Yeah, so I think it is, the Indian market itself is very big. So I think life sciences, healthcare, student universities are something which you can be a market leader and dominant, create a lot of real estate around it. Because when the students come, they burn money, the retail gets boosted, their spending gets boosted, and many of them also stay back and they become the local talent of the state.
Okay, as you rightly said.
One question, then in that case, you are planning something in Kerala immediately in the Life Science Park?
So we are working very closely
Well,
with...
I visualized that started this a few years back. You are the right person now to pick up. My dream, you can make it...
It's as I said, it is a very interesting opportunity. We are working with the assets for several, medical centers and several other opportunities, but life sciences remain a very key area of interest for us. There are a lot of things to be done to create an ecosystem. I think it cannot be seen as a pure real estate game. And yes, the state government is giving us a lot of support. They've been talking to us, and hopefully we will be seen here very soon.
Thank you. So as he rightly said, the geriatric and health is the hot seat now. So let us straight away go to the geriatric person. Rajagopal, what specific factors about Kerala's demographic and economic landscape make it an attractive market for senior living communities, and how do you plan to capitalize on these opportunities?
Thank you, Sunilji. Before I speak about what is exciting for us about Kerala, I just want to take probably 30 seconds to set the context. And I think Korean sir already did the job of highlighting this alternate opportunity in Kerala. Across India today, what's happening is there are couple of trends that is very relevant. One is people are living longer due to advancement of science and technology. You all know the average lifespan of people have gone up in India. The second trend that we are seeing in India is moving away from the joint family system to nuclear family system. This trend is prevalent across India, which is actually driving business models like ours, which is retirement homes and senior living and assisted living and care homes. Because people will live longer, as you also mentioned, I think there will be requirement for not everybody, surely not in Kerala. I think people are much more healthier in Kerala than other parts of the country. So this new age models are catching up, and this new age model for us is a nice collaborative platform with real estate players. Because this is a combination of it's just not a real estate building that comes up like your commercial building, but it's a continued building which has a life for 30, 40 years where services become the anchor. So what is exciting for us in Kerala, and before I say that, I want you to know that we have already signed up and launched about 600,000 square feet of projects in Bangalore, and I think somebody like Sunil has been spearheading this, trying to bring some alternate models to Kerala because I know you understand the potential and the need that exists. So, couple of points that's very exciting for us. Apart from the normal trend in Kerala, I want to talk about 23-24 Niti Aayog had published this sustainability index. I don't know how many of you know that Kerala was one of the top ranked states in India and in terms of sustainability index, along with Uttarakhand, because I think some of the schemes in terms of health and well-being has been really focused upon in Kerala for over decades. Now, adding to that, I think, obviously, I want you to know that Keralites live longer than the average life that's estimated in the Indian context itself. One more interesting feature is that I think the migration trends. I think that's something very well known. A lot of children of Kerala move out and live outside Kerala. And of course, with a lot of economic development, some of them or many of them will come back. But certainly the next probably a decade or so, we'll still see people living outside with their parents left over here. But one of the another trends that is very exciting for us is Kerala embraces changes. So we are seeing that acceptance, the cultural shift we are seeing where children are accepting that if my father and mother can get a great care. Even now in Bangalore itself, we get at least about 6 to 7 leads a day for service in Kerala, just to let you know. So these are some of the drivers that are pushing us. We are very confident and we want to invest aggressively into the Kerala market. We have made a good beginning, I think more to come.
Okay, coming to the architectural part of development.
Have you also studied where the Kerala Malayalis are very much more willing to pay on health and care?
Absolutely.
That is very much important because if you look at the out-of-pocket expenditure on health and care, Kerala is the highest. So Malus values their life much more than others, I think. Mostly, I was telling him, if I'm admitted in a hospital, my wife is ready to sell all my property and invest on 2 crore. For what, I don't know, but that is the mentality. Will you add that as a great point for doing this investment in Kerala?
No, I think, well said, sir. I think Keralites in general are people who are willing to pay if there is a value they see in it. So it's for people like us to stand up and offer that value and work with great partners here. I also want to add one more point, Korean sir. I think one of the trends that we see in Kerala, which is not there in other part, is we use the word care continuum in our industry, where a person moving from hospital to home through a care home, there's a seamless connectivity for them. That's what we people offer, right? But we see that continuum existing in your real estate in Kerala, and I'll tell you what, I read a very nice article somewhere, sometime back, which spoke about rural-urban continuum. In Kerala, it's a very unique proposition where I cannot differentiate between rural and urban in Kerala because every geography here looks well developed as much as an urban place. So that's another great advantage for developers and we are very excited about that.
Okay. So coming back to architect Kuchum and Matthew. As an architect with experience both in Kerala and outside Kerala, how do you describe the current real estate business in Kerala in terms of the K-Smart, digitalization of approval process, ease of getting an occupancy certificate, sustainability practices and design thinking?
To start with, let me just congratulate the KSIDC, particularly I just spoke to the chairman, Balagopal sir, who said, this is not the end, this is the start of a conversation. So I think what we need to expect is not the end result in today's conversation, but it's just a start of a new beginning. Now to come to answer what Sunil has been asking about K-Smart and other things, we know from a very long time Kerala has been very transparent compared to other cities. The level at which you need to bribe somebody is very less, things are very smooth. But we all are talking about development. But at the same time, we should understand that most of the cities like Mumbai, Chennai, Bangalore are getting choked. Choked because of the high real estate development, which is not sustainable. And when I say sustainable, the word I believe is kind of used in a very manner that it is green. Sustainability is beyond green buildings. Sustainability has to be not just ecologically sustainable, it has to be socially sustainable, it has to be also economically sustainable. Only then the entire system works. So I believe that they all have spoken about how growth can be done, how process can be done, but at the same time we need to have a mind shift of growth inclusive of sustainability. Sustainability in three factors: ecologically, socially, and economically. Only then growth will sustain. Otherwise, what happens is all these things, all these ideas, when we start inputting into the cities will become examples like what we have in Bangalore, Mumbai, and Chennai. So we need to also make sure that we have to grow fast, but at the same time, we have to grow sustainable. Otherwise, we are going to have major issue, especially with lack of land and lack of infrastructure. So that's my take towards it. And recently we had a video call, and PH Kurian sir also agreed. We need to look at integrated cities, small cities, which can integrate everything so that you don't need many infrastructure. Within that city, you have places to work, you have places to stay, you have places for parks, you have places for hospital. So kind of an integrated cities is the great model which we can look, which happens at different parts of the city. Because again, we don't want to lose the natural environment and the beauty of Kerala. So I think it is very nice to have such conversation very often, not just today, but I think this conversation should lead throughout the year, and this is a start. But we all should keep in mind why Kerala is still beautiful is because it's got this serene. We need to make sure that development comes along with sustainability, not just being green, but ecologically, socially, and economically. Thank you.
Very, very crisp and clear thoughts, Kuchnoman. So, Anand, Kerala has a peculiar problem for development always, which is nothing but the shortage of available good land. Raghu was actually putting that on stress, saying that no land, no land, no land. But KPMG doesn't believe that way, I think. Your organization has proposed and developed many innovative ideas in neighboring states, like land pooling, transferable development rights, abolition of land ceiling act. So what are your plans to unlock the value of lands in Kerala, thereby creating its availability?
Like Mr. Raghu earlier said, because we are also blessed with hills, backwaters, and sea, the land that is available for development there are proper guardrails in place to make sure that, like Kochudaman also just now mentioned, the natural beauty is also not taken away. So basically what happens is, one, in terms of FAR, like it was mentioned earlier, Kerala's amongst the highest in the country. But then what else can we do? If we take a cue from other states, like we mentioned earlier, land pooling is one aspect that has been very actively pursued in some states, which would be very relevant to Kerala because the concept of vacant land is really not there. Given the fact that a lot of Kerala, especially the diaspora that's living in the Gulf, look at land as the primary investment back in town. So if for some project, if for some infrastructure development, a large tract of land is actually needed, it becomes difficult to agglomerate that land parcel and make it into one contiguous portion which can be used for a proper fruitful development. Now, government is also taking very active steps in this regard. For example, last year in the budget, the Honorable Finance Minister had actually mentioned that a special purpose vehicle would be set up to agglomerate land parcels for industrial development, which exactly kind of addresses this key issue. Other things are like, once this is done, so for example, I was speaking to some of my colleagues in Tamil Nadu. So what they've now done is primary development, especially ITES development that is largely centered around the cities. The state has now gone beyond to look at other traditional industries which would generate large employment. For example, footwear, right? A lot of the manufacturing concerns in Southeast Asia, they are interested to set up factories in Tamil Nadu. I think discussions are already on. So for about 5,000 to 7,000 crores investment, they are typically looking at about 30 to 40,000 employment generation that happens. So this is all beyond the cities. Now Kerala, a lot of people, we all think that it's one big city, right? So for all this, again, land is the most essential commodity, and because of the Land Ceiling Act that we have in place, it is difficult to actually get large tract of land. Now, to answer your specific question as to what other governments are doing, whenever there is a project of specific interest that is coming to the government for approval, a lot of these state governments have also taken specific measures to amend the landholding rules, whichever is prevalent in those states, to make sure that that paves way to develop these specific projects.
Okay.
So coming to Gurian sir, how does Kerala plan to enhance the ease of doing business for builders in Kerala? And what specific policies are in place to encourage investment in this region? When I say ease of doing business, see, there are a lot of other stakeholders like electricity board, water authority, fire department, drainage and sewage system. So those people are not at all responsible for any kind of good.
I got what you say.
Yeah.
Somebody here mentioned that Kerala has very less corruption. That will be the big problem. If there is a corruption, things will go fast, and Kerala, corruption is less. It takes time. Then what is required is the soft things in law. One of the things which Anand just now speak is our land laws. Mind you, I was industry secretary for around 10 years. I was revenue secretary for 3 years. Land laws are the most complicated in this part of the country. No other state in Kerala. Kerala has more than 100 laws relating to land. Nobody can even list out. As a revenue secretary, I tried. There are umpteen number of land laws. Some of them are totally outdated. And so that is what I have been speaking in my keynote also. Some soft part of it needs to change. So the regulators, like the Pollution Control Board or something, they distill so much into the thing. So Kerala's public view is, there are a lot of complainants and a lot of petitioners and things like that. These are the things which, the little soft part of thing, which government has moved faster. In the last 5 years, I've seen the fire and all that. They're, very backward-looking policies have changed. Pollution Control Board still, I think, need to come a little more open. So there are changes happening, but it has to happen in law as well. This ease of doing business, one of the main thing requirement is simply attitude is very important, but that attitude will come only with the change of law. So these rules and everything has to be made simple. The building rule has to be made more transparent. Now I have written n number of things which is to be amended in the building rules. I don't see that much, partly it is happening, but it has to be much faster. Building rules can be much more transparent. Now, today the building rule says, I'm not finding fault, but then these are the things like you say, conversations start. Your rules speak about a lot of requirement and which need to be met. Thereafter, you say the secretary can impose conditions as he deems fit. This is a word which the law should simply, doesn't exist in a democracy. An officer can put in conditions which he deems fit. This is a particular thing in Indian law. No other, America doesn't have a word. An officer can put conditions which he deems fit. At least he should say conditions which are, he cannot put conditions which are not in conformity with this rule. At least.
I think
so he puts a lot of conditions. I am making a suggestion today, because once this happens, things will move faster.
Yeah.
So this is what I made all these suggestions to government, and there is a move on that.
But to the specific,
so I am sure that these conversations will make change on that.
Stakeholders, electricity board, water authority, will they do?
No, that's what I said. When these rule changes, it happens. But the electricity board, for example, the Supreme Court has come to a recent judgment that the electricity board should not give electricity without the final occupancy certificate. Kerala, these are all related. Occupancy certificate used to be delayed. Electricity board, when I was industry secretary, I was fighting for faster connections to you. Well, industry getting connected. I said, without all this thing, you give connection. Electricity board is a businessman. They want to sell power. Let them sell power. The Supreme Court said, no, because there are a lot of cheating happening without occupancy certificate, electricity should not give connection. And they also said, sent it to Chief Secretary saying that if everybody gives, fire them. They also will be under the contempt of court.
But I think
so it has become very serious. Now, I am saying that with the RERA law in place, RERA law has a great leveler in that way that if the plans are not followed, if there is any violation in the sanctioned plan, they will be heavily punished as a compensation. Otherwise, in the earlier building rules, if it doesn't follow the plan, it has to be demolished. Now there is another word, if it is not need to be demolished, there can be a heavy penalty on the builder who violates the building rule. That actually is a great restraint now. So people follow the building rules, follow the sanction plan and convert. I hope that the type of issues of delaying the occupancy certificate will not arise as a result of RERA law.
Good.
So the situation has become much more transparent and easy.
That's a
So in
positive-
another
positive side
5
of the
years, I won't see any of this delaying occupancy certificate, delaying the STP clearance and by pollution control board or electricity board connection, water authority connections. This will all go together because there is a compulsion now on the builder
That's actually
to
good
do
for the
this
industry,
because he has
right?
to give a compensation, delay interest and all that. So the real estate law has actually made the builder also to be more responsible.
Okay.
And they do some sort of, in India we say, adjust karo thoda. The adjust word is not there in the real estate law. But in practically we have, thoda adjust karo. Some. That adjust karo will go with the RERA most. That is what I believe, okay?
Raghu,
Things are improved.
To read along with what he said,
Thoda adjust karo.
my question is, see in Trivandrum, he talked about the complaints and issues and all. So many buildings when get completed, you people have formed some group called Trivandrum Agenda Task Force and Awake Trivandrum and all. My question is, how do you collaborate with local development movements such as Trivandrum Agenda Task Force and Awake Trivandrum to ensure sustainable urban growth and promote investments in Kerala real estate?
See, what we did in Trivandrum is, we got, first the Trivandrum...
It's a very positive story about the Trivandrum development.
The Trivandrum Chamber of Commerce, after I took over as president 6-7 years back, we found that, we are only interested in talking about trading community. So we went out to say, we need to bring more investors. So how do we go about it? So about 15-20 years back, we formed the Trivandrum Agenda Task Force, and later we formed the Awake Trivandrum. Awake Trivandrum is not an organization of individuals, it's an organization of organizations. So we have 100 organizations within this Awake Trivandrum, which comes from Trivandrum Management Association, Medical Association, Dental Association, Vyabari Vyavasai and all that. So what we do is, the Trivandrum Chamber of Commerce will be engaging the government on political levels, and Trivandrum Agenda Task Force will be engaging the government officials, bureaucrats into the official level to brief them and enlighten them what has to be done. And Awake Trivandrum will do the grassroots level follow-up at the various levels. So what we found that we need to bring investments. So if you only investments come in, only your city will have growth. And when you have growth, only you're going to have employment coming, and then you have economic activity coming. So we found that when we spoke to a lot of people, we found that what ultimately brings in employment is, one is major area is IT. And second thing, for IT to come, you require connectivity. For connectivity to come, you got to have a good airport. And that's where we work. When we brought in an airline summit in Trivandrum, brought in 35 CEOs, and we had only 35 flights and 5,000 people flying. Now today we have 110 flights and about 16,000 people flying a day. This is the development which brought in. And also from the port sites. You know in Kerala you have pseudo-environmentalists and also RTI activists, blackmailers. They keep on giving trouble everywhere. We stepped in and make sure that all those who come and invest in Trivandrum, we step in to handhold them and take them out through the problem. This happened to the Adanis also when they had a problem with the local fisher folks. We took them out. And with these, today, the Adani port is already completed 150 ships, and they have handled about 230,000 containers till today. Same thing happened in the case of Lulu when Sri Yusuf Ali came in. So the youngsters always tell they don't want to come to Trivandrum because they say there's no ecosystem for the youth. First they say there's no mall. Then we got our MP, Dr. Tharoor, had used his good offices to bring in the mall through Mr. Yusuf Ali. And then we had gone to Bangalore and pitched in for the Infosys. During those days, Mr. IVS Matthews. So we brought in Infosys to the place. Dr. Tharoor brought in Oracle into the place. So we have been able to bring in a lot of companies into the place today. So today we have made sure that, any company is looking for land, we have a land bank created in our Chamber of Commerce. Anybody coming for that, they can come to the chamber, we'll tell them where to go, what to do. And if there's any block coming in, we step in. And we help them out and handhold them so that there's a way forward for them. Nobody is left in the lurch. We don't allow the media to or social media to trouble them in any way, because we engage the social media also in the whole exercise.
It's a very, very classic example of how public can form a group and support
This is
development.
possible. Actually, you need
Actually, Awake Trivandrum needs a big round of applause, actually. They have done a great job, actually.
No, but here I like to mention, especially we have the former Chief Secretary sitting here, Dr. Venu, who has been the guiding force. He has been the one we have gone to him for a lot of issues. The flooding problem in the city, he got it solved. Everything, we have actually a CM's office, there's a cell, Major Dinesh, I don't know whether he's here. He's the person in charge of infrastructure and follow-up. We got arterials drawn in the city so that we don't want people to put up posters and write on the walls. So today the city has got a lot of walls painted with good fine art college students painting up the walls, landscaping, the nightlife. We prevail on the government. I think Dr. Venu is responsible for that, to have that nightlife at Manaviyam Veedi. And today it is going to get spread out to Kannakunda Palace and also the youth has got place to unwind for themselves in the night. So many things. So when the youth folks started coming in, you must give them employment. So we have more than, a lot of companies are now coming for the IT. And we're getting more and more shipping. We did the Virinjam Conclave recently. We got almost 100 investors coming, and most of them has decided to set up shops there. So these things will bring in the youth back. We want our youth from other state to come back, those who are abroad, and those youth who are coming up after graduation now with private university bill coming. I'm quite sure that you will have more people coming to Trivandrum to do their studies, because there's 2-3 places where private universities can come in, and student housing. So we have been extending any support. So that anybody can walk into the chamber, and we are working 24/7 to give every support to any investor who comes to the city, because we don't have godfathers. All of us are the godfathers.
This is what actually required, because when you look at the data of a real estate regulatory authority, Trivandrum has got more projects than Cochin now. So big congratulations to your Awake Trivandrum movement. And this is actually going to happen in all cities of Kerala.
This is something which I think I need to add to what Sunil said. Cochin is definitely the place where it's happening place. But recently with our activities, what is the final thing? The proof of the pudding is in the eating. So here you found that this last January to December, the maximum number of flats were sold in Trivandrum is about 3,000, followed by Cochin. So that indicates that whatever effort we have been putting in is working out. So this is something which everybody can replicate. Don't think that government should do anything for you. We have to work with the government,
Yes.
Go down and help them out. That's the only way to help.
So Vishal, based on your experience in developing life science parks and opportunities you foresee in Kerala for collaboration between industry, academia and government to create a thriving ecosystem in the life science sector. So what is your future plans for Kerala? What are you going to invest in Kerala? What we can expect from you?
So, the way I see it is, the two cities where we have a good ecosystem in life sciences is Hyderabad and Bangalore. And given the healthcare and the number of good hospitals in Hyderabad and number of new hospitals coming in Hyderabad, we always say that there is a preclinical side which happens in the lab, and then there is a clinical side which happens in the hospital. So I think Kerala has a very strong case for the clinical side of the research.
Okay.
Also on the preclinical side, the world is now moving from chemistry-based drugs to biotech-based drugs. So if you see all the very famous new drugs which are coming from a bio-manufacturing. And I think clearly there is a slot open for leadership, and I think Kerala can really take it up given the infrastructure they have from the healthcare perspective. So we see Kerala as a very important component in the overall life sciences map of India. We would like to see more activity on the education side, and I would encourage and hope that there are a lot more private universities which are set up. We should request Government of India to allocate a NIPER to us because there is a lack of center of excellence in terms of education. There are many, and we need more. But I also feel that number of Keralites who are taking up life sciences as education stream is very high. The number of it is not a state obsessed by technology. And I was also telling that, look, the salary of an average technology guy has remained almost constant at 6 lakhs per annum for over last 1 decade. So any fresher coming out of a college 6 lakhs was the salary which actually when I came out of college in 1999, and today also in 2025, 25 years later, that number remains sacrosanct. Given the cost of real estate and the availability of land, we need to create a lot more value-added jobs. And I think life sciences, healthcare, medical colleges, education can create a very unique ecosystem right here in Hyderabad, right here in Kerala. And I would be very happy to be part of this ecosystem. And we are in touch with the local government here, and we continue to explore ways and means how we can come and start promoting Kerala on a global scene.
So welcome to Kerala.
Just to add on to that thing, the east of Trivandrum, now that the corridor is coming, east of Trivandrum towards Vidura, that is the area most suitable for institutions. Now that we have the Indian Institute of Space Research and one more institution, there are ISER. So that is a place where a private university, which I tried I think, because government was not allowing private education. So there were people, those days I met a lot of them, they were ready to start in the east of Trivandrum. East of Trivandrum is a center where knowledge flourished. That is what I heard traditionally. There is some geomagnetic effect on
some
brain.
inputs for the real estate.
Something brain instigating type of thing, illuminating. So that is a place I think you should help to have more of a biomic research. What he says is right. The Singapore Biotechnology Park has around 5,000 PhDs working at high salary. Because they're all R&D of the high end. Every R&D, that is the one which I saw and came back and started the biopark in Toronto. Maybe he says it was too early. But today time has come where you should really set in, and these type of high-end jobs needs to be created. I said Singapore Biome Park it was 3,000 when I visited in 2005. Today it may be around 15,000 people, PhDs working at very high salary. That is the type of thing which actually sort of add to your high-end real estate and all that. That is what Trivandrum requires. So it will coupled with a good university on the east of Trivandrum and the biopark. So this is not a time to be on this. Privately we need to talk. I can sort of advise you, help you on that.
Rajagopal, what are your long-term plans for expansion in Kerala, and how do you see senior living market evolving in the state for the next 5 to 10 years? And will you see a future for senior living after 20 years?
Absolutely. I think, as I mentioned to you earlier, we are very positive for the reasons that I already stated. I think, one, for people who have gone out and their parents here, I think they certainly need this help. And if the economic development, as we are all speaking, kicks in, it's only going to further because people are going to live longer and they will require help. So we are very bullish. We have already invested in a couple of projects also through you people, and I've been speaking to sir. I think we need to encourage more senior living players to come into Kerala. I think that's what we are also trying to do, pioneer this so that more people follow suit. We are very bullish on this, Sunilji.
Okay. Architect Kuchoman, see, we have been talking about the sustainability practices, design thinking and all, but just compare with you didn't answer to that question earlier. Just compare with your Karnataka or Tamil Nadu where you do other projects, and how the building rules are better than Kerala, or it's not better than Kerala, or is it easy for you to get a OC in Kerala or in Bangalore, which is easy actually? You tell very frankly, that's the need of the hour actually.
No, I'm being very frank. I agree with PH Kurian sir. The problem here is not about...
No, don't talk about the problem of Kerala. Talk about the positive side.
See, Kerala is good, but it has to be better.
Yeah.
When I say better, I just come back to what he's saying is because we have so many rules which is there, which needs to be crisp and crystallized.
But we are changing that now.
Yeah.
It's all getting
so
changed.
that process has to happen. Now, if you say it is difficult to get an approval in Bangalore, there are a lot of things to get done, but there is crystal clarity on what you want and what you can ask for. Here, what you want, you know. But when it comes to what to ask for, there are so many rules where there are loopholes like what he says. So if that gets crystallized, I think there is no other place like Kerala. It'll become a true God's own country, I think, actually.
Actually, the good news is the Kerala Municipal Building Rules is getting changed. A lot of amendments are coming. And we were expecting these changes before this summit, actually. But anyway, it is going to happen before March 31st. That's what I heard. I think Kurian sir also said the same thing. So those changes will actually make the life of architects and builders much better.
Yeah, it does. But I just want to put one more thread to the conversation. Since we are talking from my beginning of my conversation, I said, this is just a start of an entire mind shift, like P.H. Kurian sir is saying. We are on a start of a conversation. Now, when you are talking about conversation, one small aspect which we have left in this discussion is the integration of technology in the construction of building. We all know that there is a shortage of manpower. We all know the speed at which we are building is very slow compared to international standards. Can we adopt technology to improve the speed and the quality of the construction? Can we use minimum labor and get maximum output, so whatever they are saying is achievable within a year or two? When I am saying life science building, I don't want a life science building to come up after 7 years or 10 years. I wanted it next year or the year after that. Because the land cost is high, my ROI is going to take time. So how do I speed up the whole thing? So I think we have to also talk about technology, how real estate can utilize or leverage technology to increase speed and quality of construction.
Okay.
If Kerala is the only place where we have the Industrial Township Act, once that act comes, only one small committee decides. In 2015 or 16, a 3.5 million square feet building was given the permit in 5 minutes time by me. In the single window clearance board in Cochin, Yusuf Ali Smart City building, it's what, 3 million or something. 5 minutes the permit was given. 5 minutes. So you are the only state in this country where such a fast permit can be given.
Yeah.
Absolutely. 5 minutes I gave a permit for 3 million square feet.
Good.
That is possible still in Kerala. So the type of industrial townships which comes under a single window law, where no panchayat, no these people, they are all there in the committee, but it is simply can be given. So that Kerala is the only state. It is put into the panchayat and municipal rules where these are exempted under that law.
Correct.
The panchayat and municipal law, the industrial townships are exempted from that law. We follow basic principles of that and give clearances for buildings.
So
I gave in 5 minutes.
This private industrial parks, actually we can, it's a new vertical for the real estate people. We can actually look at that big opportunity where you get sanctions immediately. And one last question to you. See, actually this was for Ramesh, but since you also belong to the same kind of knowledge group, could you elaborate on the specific criteria and processes for REIT? Because that creates a lot of encouragement and good growth in the market. So what are the possibilities of getting some good REITs to Kerala, and what kind of assets they will actually look at? This is for the benefit of investors and for the builders present here.
Okay, I'm not an expert on REIT.
Yeah,
Let me say that first of all, because I'm not really technically competent to speak on that. So rather I would put it in a slightly different way. Like Vin sir said, and like Kochuthaman also said, the point is any investor that's coming, say if it's an IT company, right? I was just talking earlier this morning also. What they are looking at is, if you are looking at a large giant like say an Accenture or an IBM or a Wells Fargo, what they need is they want to set shop within the next 6 to 8 months. Once they have kind of inked the pact, they will need to kind of get their office up and running within the shortest span of time. Now the big conundrum that Kerala faces is we don't have ready-made spaces. Like say, for example, if you go to a larger city, like say, for example, Hyderabad, he was saying more than say 20 million square feet is readily available. Anybody goes there and then they can just start it off. Whereas in Kerala, unfortunately, that is not happening. So, which is also a great impediment to the accelerated growth that we are looking at. One. Point number two, say for example, despite, say for example, earlier Mr. Raghu was talking, fantastic work that they have done in Trivandrum, for example, which was once considered a sleepy town. I'm born and brought up in Trivandrum, so I can speak a lot about it, but in the interest of time, let me just squeeze it to this. They have literally extracted a commitment from Adani's 20,000 crore for the port and 5,000 crores for the airport. So, which is a fabulous thing. Obviously, working alongside with the government, getting getting all the necessary support, they have now committed. Now the Minister Gadkari ji is also now committed 5,000 crores to the outer area growth corridor. So that is something we had. So the typical issue that the state would also face, which is where the innovative tools would come in, is looking at funds, because always Kerala, when compared to larger states, has challenges when it comes to funding large infrastructure projects. But that is where looking at your innovative funding tools need to come in, which now the government is also very actively considering it, and hopefully within the next 6 to 12 months, we see a lot of things like your value capture financing, which other states, for example, Gift City in Gujarat, Sabarmati corridor, the whole thing. So all these, what are the takeaways that they have done there, wherein our burden, financial burden on the state can also be reduced, but at the same time, accelerated infrastructure development can happen. Now, the best example is the outer area growth corridor. Once the port and airport is up and running, that is the most, lucrative thing that we can look at from an industrial development perspective.
So what is it is correct, because all the great cities in India, if you take Bombay, Hyderabad, Bangalore, Chennai, Gujarat, Ahmedabad, all these cities are developed and built in such a way by the private developers only, not by the government. Government has not done any such kind of buildings or such infrastructure. All was done by the private developers. So that's a model we have to follow here.
I think that is one push where private developers also kind of pitch in, look at it as a business opportunity and invest in commercial space, which will attract the larger companies to come and invest in Kerala.
Okay. So I think we are coming to the last part of the session. So to the audience, I think we can have 2-3 questions from the audience side. Use the mic, please. What?
So you are very established in this area. So if you are ready to invest, so we are giving property for this purpose. So you are ready to do that, or you are ready to help the existing projects?
So every senior living operator has different model.
Yeah.
The model that we predominantly follow is to collaborate with developers.
Okay.
Where the land acquisition and the development is responsibility with them, but we facilitate the entire design process, sales and marketing, and as well as operating that. So it's a collaborative effort that we follow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good.
So I think Vishal has something to add on. Read. Vishal, you have something to add on. Read.
I just wanted to say that Hyderabad faced the same challenge versus Bangalore, where there were large developers in Bangalore and there were none in Hyderabad. But over the time, with the demand, developers and development grew big. But one of the recent things, which is SM REIT, which is a newly regulated regulation where you can bundle 500 crores of asset and go IPO, which has been recently launched by SEBI, is very useful for emerging cities like Cochin and Trivandrum. Because whatever said and done, the large funds and the large REITs find the scale and size beyond the top 4 or 5 markets not very appealing to them. So while they will keep considering and talking about these opportunities, you will never see a case study for them to really come and make that financial investment. So from that perspective, SM REIT is a very good move, which allows you and the local entrepreneurs to move into in monetizing an asset, which is as small as 400, 500 crores, which is very suitable for a Trivandrum, Cochin environment. So I think instead of depending on these big names to come and give you liquidity, it is always better to plan group initiatives like Trivandrum, combine the asset pool and look for an SM REIT, because they will take their own time to come to give you big checks.
Good thought. Anyway, yeah, please.
Good afternoon, myself Sunil Kokre from Pune. So, considering the Kochi's position in real estate, and sir already told that tier 1 cities is already choked up. So we launched a new project, Kochi Hilltop City. It's an integrated project having near about 390 hectare of land. And
yeah.
almost 100 hectare is in possession, and balance we are proposed to acquire implementing land pooling scheme. So here local Mr. Anthony and Pankaj Ankan is with us. So my question to particularly Kurian sir and Nair sir from CREDI, so is there any policy or we can pursue with the government for special status like industrial township for residential integrated township, particularly some incentive
Question
in
is
some
clear, sir. You can answer
It
actually.
is there, I told
Yeah.
no industrial township.
No, but for residential township.
No, it's part, residence is a part of that thing.
Okay.
Purely residence alone doesn't come under that industrial township act. Industrial township means industry plus residential all.
Okay.
Educational, whatever it is. It's an
Okay.
integrated township.
Okay.
So if you plan in 100 hectares, which you say 250 acres, it's most welcome. I am sure that proactive government today, you approach, they will...
An integrated development is possible.
And create a single window clearance board, they will notify for that thing. So your clearances will be faster. And he comes from Pune. Pune is a place where 25 years back, few families together did the Magarpatta land pooling.
Similar
So
land.
they are land pooling experts. So you do the land pooling in Kerala. If you have done for 100 hectares, I think I am so much surprised. There is nothing better to happen for shaping
Correct.
Kerala.
Sir, my,
Very, very good
sir,
positive
my
news.
main question is whether is it possible for premium FSI, some incentives in stamp duties and development charges?
No, those things I think you need to specifically have, issue-based thing you need to talk to government. The place you are doing, I planted 10 years back onwards. The problem is to acquire that huge land, government didn't have the money. So now that you have come and pooling and doing it, time has come for Kerala in that case. If you have succeeded in this, I think dreams are going to
Ready for
take
takeoff.
wings. Dreams are really going to take wings now, if that is happening. Great.
So, one more question, last
We
question.
get all the support.
Yeah.
The legal
My name is-
background is already there.
My name is Salahuddin Al-Ghazi. I'm from Engrave Technologies, CEO. I have a question to the architect. I'm a structural engineer. You told that the advantage of Kerala is sustainability with the growth. So how will you compare the application of advanced technologies like precast construction and pre-engineered buildings in using this application, artificial intelligence for robotics in Kerala? So those technologies will help to improve Kerala compared to other states, or how you can improve these technologies to make Kerala more grow?
I just want to ask you one question back before I answer.
Yeah.
Can you tell me the name of the company that has implemented prefabrication buildings in Bangalore? Do you remember the name of the company that does prefabrication buildings in Bangalore? It's a huge company, highly robotic. It's called, it was initially called KEF.
Okay, yeah.
Later it was called Katera.
Katera, correct.
You know who owns it? It was initially owned by a Malayali called Faisal.
Yes.
It was his brainchild.
Faisal Shabana.
So, see, we are very good at technology. There is no other country in the world which has got this kind of, because we are good at maths.
Yes.
And technology works very well with us, actually. So, it is only a matter of time, or I would say, like PH Kurian sir has said, probably the time has already come. And that is why we are you and I having a conversation here. So I think the time has come, and especially I'm so happy to have people from Pune all the way coming till here actually. And they're saying that they want to acquire land. So let's do it together. What is stopping us? We have the technology, we have the know-how. It is just a matter of fact that we just, like I said, you can't have a life science park happening in 7 years down the lane. We need to have it in 2 or 3 years' time.
That. Exactly.
Otherwise, it is not going to happen.
Yeah.
So technology is very important with growth. That is the only way we can achieve sustainability. And sustainability has to be in 3 factors: ecological, social, and very important, economical. Only then it will be sustainable. It is not just about green buildings, actually. So I hope I have answered you well. Yeah?
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
So, thank you all for your insightful and valuable contributions today. It is clear from our discussions that Kerala's real estate sector is poised for tremendous growth, driven by innovation, sustainability, and collaboration. With strategic investments in infrastructure, technology, and inclusive urban development, Kerala is not only an attractive market for investors, but also a model for forward-thinking, resilient cities. Together, with the support of key stakeholders, we can unlock new opportunities and create a vibrant, sustainable future. Let us continue to work together to turn our shared vision into a reality. Thank you again for your time and participation. Thank you. Thank you. We can talk offline.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you so much, everyone, for the wonderful section. And we would like to take this moment to express our heartfelt gratitude to honor dignitaries, the dais. As a token of appreciation, we request the Honorable Sri V. Venu, IAS, former Chief Secretary of Government of India, to come forward to present the below delegates to hand over a memento. Please give them a big round of applause for Venu, sir. And I kindly request P.H. Kurian, please come forward to receive the memento as a token of appreciation. And next, I would like to call Mr. Vishal Goel to come forward to receive the memento as a symbol of gratitude for dedication. Please give them a warm applause. And next, I would like to call Mr. Anand Sharma. Please accept the memento as a token of appreciation to tireless effort. And next, I would like to call Mr. S.N. Raghushandran Nair to please come forward to receive the memento from Sir. And next, I would like to call Mr. Rajagopalji to accept the memento as a gesture of heartfelt appreciation. Thank you so much, sir. And next, I would like to call Mr. Kochidam and Matthew to please come forward to receive the memento. And finally, as a token of appreciation for the leadership and dedication, we would like to present a memento to Mr. Sunil Kumar. Let's give them a big round of applause. Once again, thank you so much for the distinguished guest and for the listeners. And it's time to take a small photo, please, everyone.